from a Western perspective, would it be wise to consider that China and Russia could form a natural alliance? Or should we consider Russia and China as a unified threat to Western security?
My experience going to Moscow before the Ukraine crisis blew up was that the Russians could not understand why the United States was picking a fight with Russia when it made eminently good sense for the United States and Russia to be allied. The Russian perspective was that historically, China and Russia had been mortal enemies on a number of occasions. When I was young, back in 1969, they fought a series of battles out in the Siberia area, and there are all sorts of potential disputes between the Chinese and the Russians. And Russians, in recent years have said to me, we are your natural allies. We are not a threat to take over Europe. And why aren't you forming an alliance? So I think if you talk about a natural alliance, in my opinion, the natural alliance was the United States and Russia against China. I will just point out to you that I had a number of Russian friends, very smart young Russian strategists actually, who said to me, John, you think about US-Russian relations in a binary fashion, which is wrong-headed. I used to talk about whether Russia should be allied with the United States or Russia should be allied with China. But their argument was, these were young Russian strategists, their argument was that the ideal strategy for Russia was to sit on the fence and not get involved either with the Chinese or with the United States. These young Russian strategists, very smart, said to me that this was the way that Russia should play its hand, not get too closely involved with the United States. And I had to admit that I hadn't even thought of that, and I think that they were right. But the end result is that we're not going there. We've now pushed the Russians into the arms of the Chinese.